Hey, let's do some he said, she said, divine feminine, divine masculine energy reading, okay? We're going to tap into their animal spirits and see what they have to say. I know that there's divine feminine is usually on the left, but we're going to have the masculine over here and the feminine over here, okay? So masculine, feminine, okay? And we're going to do a couple of spreads. We're going to just kind of, let's see, what energy do I want to use for the divine feminine? Actually, we're going to use the same cards for both, okay? So we're going to do that. Let's see what we get. Okay, divine masculine, divine feminine, okay? And then we'll go ahead and do a center row just to see exactly what the energies may be together. We'll see. Okay, starting with the divine masculine. Please give me the animal spirit energy for the divine masculine. And just one, please. Okay, I'm glad it didn't show. And the divine feminine, please. One for the divine feminine. Now, divine feminine, you're doing the most. I'm not taking those. Okay, divine feminine. One, please. For the divine feminine. Okay, it's cool. All right, and let's try it with both of these cards. Let's see what we get. Okay, energy for the divine masculine, please. Energy for the divine masculine, please. Energy for the divine masculine. And, okay. Divine masculine. All right. Let's go on over there to the divine feminine energy. Divine feminine energy, please. Divine feminine energy. We're going to use the hot and juicy, and I'm going to clarify with the Millennial Oracle. I don't use that very often. Let's see how it goes. Okay. All right. Throat chakra's on point. Divine feminine energy, please. Okay. 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 Let's talk about it. Overall energy I feel right now for the divine masculine, or what comes out, is the swan spirit. Time for a deep dive. Now, I believe these cards do have a reversal, and so I'm going to keep it in the reverse position. But time to take a deep dive. Swan spirit. I'm seeing this card in the reverse for the masculine because I think it is definitely time for him to take that deep emotional dive, really dive into his emotions. I just feel like he's hesitant to do it. I feel like there's some stagnancy there, just a little bit of hesitancy to want to move forward because it feels different. This is going to be an emotional experience. Not that the divine masculine has not experienced deep emotion before, but this is just going to feel a little bit differently. There's amount of growth that has happened, or maturity, or change that has happened in the divine masculine. And so this level of intimacy is going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. And so I do feel like he's a little hesitant to dive in and explore those feelings. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the energies that flew out for him as well. Center energy, miracles, and soulmate. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It almost feels a little cynical coming from the divine masculine. It's like, yeah, right. You know, like, come on. It's going to be, it's going to be one heck of a challenge before I find that perfect person. Like, nobody finds their soulmate, or it just feels a little cynical, like, but in all of that in that, I still feel his desire, the masculine desire to really want it, to have it, to obtain it. And so it may seem far-fetched, but deep down inside, that is a desire that that he truly wants. It's a real desire for the masculine to actually find a partner that he feels is his soulmate. Divine timing. Yes. This came in through, or divinely guided energy came through on the masculine's reading. So same thing, I feel like he's really being challenged to make some changes and in himself, and trust that when those changes happen, it is going to be a catalyst for other things to just take off. And that energy flows the same for the divine feminine. It says trust in the perfection of divine timing. So just trust that if you follow your feelings, you follow your heart, you do what you feel like is the right thing to do, that miracles can happen. Divine is actually really working with you, masculine. So it's very important for you to go ahead and sink into your emotions, because that's going to be very, very key for you. Casual sex. I'm seeing this as a past energy. I feel like this is an energy that you really held on to for a long time, the friends with benefits energy, right? I don't feel necessarily that that's exactly where you want to be anymore. I'm not saying that you want to just stop having all these relationships. I just feel like you're honed in more, like, okay, I've experienced a lot of the different flavors, and now I'm kind of realizing that some of the flavors are they taste the same. And so after you've had so much experience, or so many different so many different experiences, you're kind of like, I don't know if I'm still into all of that anymore. You're kind of wanting to not necessarily calm down, but it is like a sense of like, it's not the same. It's not the same. You're looking for something more than casual sex or casual intimacy. You want something more more meaningful and fulfilling. Sacrifice, but are you willing to do it? What do you have to sacrifice to obtain it? And that seems like a big question that the masculine is concerned with, is that there's a sacrifice I need to make. I'm not sure if I'm ready. That's exactly where he's stuck. Time for that deep dive, but just reluctant to jump in and do it because there's a fear. Am I capable? Am I ready for this? Do I really want this type of relationship? Am I really looking for this type of maturity in a relationship, or the intimacy in a relationship? Am I really ready? And what do I have to lose? Because it's like the divine masculine's pretty aware, like, in order to obtain something of great pleasure, or maybe something that's really good, it's like he's like, I know I have to lose something. I know I have to lose something to get something good. And so because he's unsure of what it is that he's got to lose, or maybe he's like, I don't want to lose these particular things, the sacrifice part is hard. It's keeping him stuck. Hot and cold being the following energy, or energy that's coming in. It says, you deserve better than my hot and cold behavior. Yes, the divine feminine does, and she ain't really gonna be trying to hear all of that anyway. So it's going to be very important for the divine masculine to know exactly where he stands in his emotions and be right there. If you are really looking for the miracle, and you are really looking for the soulmate, then there is going to be the sacrifice of you not. The sacrifice is going to be you getting in your feelings. You can't hold that back anymore. You're going to have to sacrifice that not wanting to talk, not wanting to be vulnerable, not wanting to feel silly or what. You're going to have to sacrifice all of that superficiality. You're going to have to just to let that all fall away and be really vulnerable and true to who you are on the inside. You can't be like, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, and love bomb the heck out of the person and then, you know, not acknowledge them later, or, you know, or get cold feet and pull back. That's not fair for you to do. So if you really want the relationship, then commit all the way into it. Not only does the divine feminine deserve a better behavior from you, but you also deserve it for yourself, right? You deserve better. Okay, you don't keep putting yourself through this flip-flop of of emotions. Make a decision, decide how you want to feel, and then what are you going to do to go after it? It's time to take a deep dive. It really is. You're asking for a miracle. You're asking for a soulmate, and it's going to come exactly when it should. Are you really willing to make the sacrifice? And all you have to sacrifice is putting your emotions out on the table. Like, is that so hard to do? Like, why is that so scary? Why do you feel like you're not ready? All right. Are you fearful of the possible rejection? Are you fearful of seeming soft or something? I'm not really sure, but it's all BS anyway. It's like you've experienced so much in life. Like, so what if you put your emotions out there? It's you did it, and now you got the answer or that you were looking for, and now you can move on. Okay, so it's not a bad energy at all. It's okay to sacrifice that. Like, I don't feel like you're losing anything by being emotionally available. Okay? I don't feel like you're losing anything by being emotionally available. Excuse me. What I'm hearing from the divine masculine is that he really does feel like, so this divine masculine has come into contact with his divine feminine. I feel like they've met before, or there's someone, at least a soulmate, or that's on their mind. And they are reminiscing about that or remembering that relationship or that friendship. And it may not even be that particular person as much as it is the feeling that they're holding on to. The feeling that felt, the feeling of love, the feeling of intimacy, the feeling of peace, the feeling of reciprocity. It's just a very calming and relaxing energy. It is an energy that says, hey, I am welcome here. I am loved here. I am safe here. I am needed here. And then there's the desire to be there. That is what I feel like the divine masculine energy is. He's holding on to that, or he feels that from this partner, this divine feminine soulmate. I feel like that's what he's thinking about. And I do believe that in due time, this partnership or these two will come into contact. What he's saying is that he needed some time because he wasn't quite ready, and he didn't even know that he needed the time. Actually, Spirit was the one who put that in there, you know. So the divine timing is because this is being actually divinely guided by Spirit. This is being navigated. It's like it's almost, it feels destined. It almost feels like destined, right? And so that where one of you may need to catch up to the other, or you both have to be in a particular spot for this to happen, for this union to happen. And so it may, like, let's just say that the divine feminine, let's just speculate, let's just say the divine feminine is ready, but the divine masculine is not. The divine feminine is kind of in a holding pattern, waiting a little bit for something to happen, because this feels very destined for this relationship to spark. The thing about it is that you always have free will, you always have choice. This is an opportunity, I'm going to say, of a lifetime when it comes to certain partnerships. This is one that, for those of you out there who resonate with this, you're going to feel it. You're going to really feel it. And it's not going to just be a superficial kind of glossed over love. You're going to be like, I really love that person, and I really do. I think that I could see myself with that person. You really feel it for that person, and I feel like that's what the divine masculine does, is feeling that. And he may have looked at this partnership or this relationship in a more very casual, blasé type of attitude, with this casual sex, hot and cold energy. I feel like that is the energy that he may have put off in the beginning, and now it has grown into something more. He has realized that there was more there than that, and yeah, and he's going to have to make some type of sacrifices emotionally to get that back. Let's see if we can get any readings or anything extra off of these cards here. Tell me about the center energy for the divine masculine. Finesse, getting something in a slick way, smoothing things out, buttering up, persuading, steal, or charm. I feel like that's exactly what what the divine masculine needs to be in. It is a finessing energy, right? He really wants this miracle, this person, this relationship, this interaction, this partnership. Really wants to have that back. If it's not that person, it's definitely that feeling. It's that feeling of wanting to, it's that feeling that he desires. The important thing for the masculine to realize is that, see that first sentence says getting something in a slick way? Honey, we're not doing that anymore. We're not getting something in a sneaky type of way. I do see a little devil energy here, okay? We're not doing that. What we are is we are what he's doing more is walking with care. Okay, I would say smoothing things out. He is finessing the situation because it calls for finesse. It calls for him to be emotionally mature and available. It calls for him to understand that he's going to maybe have to walk a little bit of a tightrope because of how he treated this energy or this feminine before, with the casual sex type of attitude, not really emotionally invested, given the hot and cold energy. And so now he is going to have to finesse. He is going to have to be a little more smooth, okay? It's yes, he will be charming and so forth, buttering her up and all of that, but it's necessary, and that might be what he's a little reluctant to do. Is like, oh, I gotta get all, I gotta do all this stuff to charm and kiss butt or what have you. And it's not really about that. And that's what that emotional maturity is. That's where that deep dive comes in. It's because it's not any of that. It's you actually just going after a feeling or a love that you desire. And you're willing to do what you need to do. You're willing to sacrifice whatever it is you need to sacrifice to obtain that beautiful feeling that you're chasing. Tell me about divine timing. Too many. I do, the thirsty card flew all the way across the table, and I really feel like it's the card for this divine timing. I will pull another one, but it says trust in the perfection of divine timing, and that's being clarified by the thirsty card. Needing validation, fishing for compliments, desperate, horny, or too eager. Okay? Spirit's not going to let that happen. You're not going to come off feeling thirsty. You're not going to come off looking thirsty, I should say. You don't have to worry about trying to get something in a slick way. That's what makes you look thirsty, is if you're coming from a slick, like, let me see if I can just finesse her or get this really quick, like you're just trying to ease your way back in. No, you want to get back into this relationship in a whole different way. Okay, you're not going to come off thirsty. You're not, because Spirit's not going to allow it. Spirit's not going to allow it. This is all happening in divine timing. You're not going to come off thirsty, and you're not going to come off needing validation, because if you watch the divine masculine reading, the divine masculine's card was know your worth. Right? And so again, when you have validated yourself, you're not going to necessarily need that type of validation from the divine feminine or from that partnership. You're not going to be too eager to see if she responds to you the same way she did in the past, even when you gave her this so-so energy. Okay? So no, spirits, you're not going to come off that way, because you're going to be in a different energy. You're going to be completely in a different type of energy. So let that ego just relax. It's not about, you're not going to appear thirsty. You're going to come to this union, into this relationship, whole and complete, and knowing that you can satisfy yourself and that the validation you need is from within. Okay? That's Spirit's going to make sure that you're there. You're in that space before you meet up with this divine feminine or this partner. Tell me about this casual sex, please. I see digital detox and blessed over casual sex. But I'm actually feeling like it's been what I'm feeling with this card is that you guys, it's like you guys have not been, this masculine has not been in touch with the feminine, and I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like it's good that you guys have not been speaking to one another. It feels like it feels like you guys have really disconnected in a sense. Like I feel like there was a complete disconnection. It was always you two thought of each other maybe in the recesses of your mind, but there was really a disconnect. No phone calls, no social media, no text messages and WhatsApp, none of that. It just was like complete severing of the relationship or situationship. It was complete severing of that. The sex stopped, the communication stopped, and that all was necessary. It all worked out for it's good. It was a blessing in disguise, because I feel like through the changes that you guys might have been going through, watching each other like that might have not helped the situation any. I hope that makes sense. But it turned out to be good that you guys have ended all types of, like there was a period of non-communication that's working out for you guys, because you're not using something that they posted or said and holding on to that and saying, well, you know, in your social media you said this, or when you did this it was that. So I feel like that's a blessing. What I'm also seeing is swerve. It says to change direction abruptly, to send for a loop, dodge, to dismiss, not interested. Again, I feel like a swerve, detox, and casual sex, all of that is saying, hey, we dodged a bullet. Like you weren't invested in this anymore. Like it wasn't going anywhere. It just all stopped. It's like it says leave emotions out of it. That's exactly what it feels like. It's just like, oh, skirt. We were talking, we were communicating, and now it's nothing. It's like, and I'm not sure if you dodged me, if you ignored me, or what, but it definitely, it was a complete disconnect, and it actually helped me. It's actually helped both of you, or the masculine. It actually was a blessing. Maybe you were doing a lot of things on social media, doing a lot of hookups, maybe meeting a lot of folks, and you had to take some time away from that. That's good if you did. It was really good. You needed to do that, so you really needed to clean up your act, okay? I'm seeing sacrifice, and I'm seeing the card flexing come out, and it says all about themselves, selfish traits, pride, flashy, arrogance, insincere, and boastful. Remember, like I was saying, the only thing you have to put down is your ego, I would say, right? Put down your ego and your concern about what other people think of you when you bear your emotions. Put that stuff to the side and not give a crap. Stop trying to flex, right? Sacrifice trying to look and be something more. You know, sacrifice that. We in the Divine Masculine reading, we talk about how you've worked very hard and built up a particular lifestyle and image for yourself, and that you're kind of trying to you're kind of clinging to that. Clinging to that, maintaining that because you don't want to look as any other kind of way but in control or successful. You want to be flexing, right? I feel like that's a sacrifice you're going to have to make. You're going to have to allow yourself to kind of fall out of that and really be sincere and touch base with your feelings. Tell me more about sacrifice, please. It's like I said, it says there's a sacrifice I need to make, but I'm not sure if I'm ready. That's that might be it, you know, bearing yourself, whole. Breadcrumbing and clapback. Avoid making any real effort, keeping options open, non-committal mind games, making a comeback, not being a doormat, fighting back, return, fire, Okay, sacrifice. Breadcrumbing and clapback, I feel like remember how I said you're going, the Divine Masculine might have to walk on a tightrope. He's going to have to finesse the situation. Again, I feel like you're going to have to sacrifice your ego. You're going to have to sacrifice a little bit of pride, because at the end of the day, when you were having this casual sex and so forth, you were breadcrumbing this person. You breadcrumbed this feminine. You breadcrumbed this relationship or this partnership. You stopped and ceased and desist. You basically said, hey, I'm giving you what I can give you, and you're going to take it and you're going to like it. And then you just realized, you basically said, but I don't have enough to even give you these breadcrumbs anymore. And so you're going to have to accept a little bit of sass that comes from this here, because there was just a straight like knife, like cut off. Not even the for the amount of intimacy that you two may have experienced, there's not even a random, hey, how are you doing text. How's life been? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's nothing. It's like nothing. You just completely nothing. So be prepared for a little bit of sass. You kind of deserve it, because it was a little bit insensitive on how you handled the situation. Hot and cold. The clarification is shipping, which is a card I've never seen in this deck before. Interesting. It's a slang word that I'm not too familiar with. So they believe in the relationship, wishing you stay together, and rooting for the partnership. Okay, that's clarifying this hot and cold. Okay, hot and cold now is saying, hey, I don't want to be cold. I want to be hot. I want to join in. I want to partner up with you. I want to experience this emotion or this feeling. And whether, again, it be with this particular person or if it's just a feeling, the masculine is saying, hey, I'm wanting to try this again. Okay, and I know that I'm going to have to sacrifice a little pride. I'm going to have to finesse the situation. I'm going to have to be strong in who I am and know that, hey, this divine feminine is not trying to emasculate me. Is not trying to make me feel foolish. No, what this divine feminine is doing is holding me accountable for my actions on how I treated her. And she's showing me that she values herself. And now she's pretty much kind of like demanding that that you as the divine masculine treat her with the same amount of value that she feels that she deserves. So you're not being emasculated or ridiculed. What you're being is held accountable. And so you're okay with that, because the validation that you need, again, is not coming. You know that. Like, when you're really honest with yourself, you know what you need to do to make it right. You know what you need what needs to happen. And so you're okay with that emotion. You're okay with that, because that's part of taking that deep dive. Okay? Nice. Okay? Yeah, I feel like, yeah, definitely the masculine is wanting to come back into a situation that I feel like emotionally he cut off, and now he desires it back again. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's talk to the divine feminine. All right, divine feminine, your animal spirit comes in as beaver spirit, laying a solid foundation. Okay, the masculine's number is 60 and the divine feminine's number is 6. Okay, so very feeling the number 6, balance, feeling a lot of balance in that number. This says laying a solid foundation. I definitely feel like that's the energy of the divine feminine, where she's setting down the boundaries, the ground rules. I feel like she's setting herself up for success. She's finding the validation within herself. She's laying down a foundation that says the next time a gentleman comes in my life, this is what I'm looking to experience, or I'm looking to have, because I'm setting myself up for this type of structure to be built here. So I really feel like that's where she's at. Okay. Center energy for the divine feminine. Skepticism and deception. She's side-eyeing you for sure. She's side-eyeing you for sure, and that's why you're going to probably get a little bit of sass from her. That is why you're going to have to finesse as much as possible and actually be able to be secure in your emotions, okay? Because you're going to have to talk to her. You're going to have to communicate with her. You're going to have to confess to her. There's going to have to be a level of communication that you express with her for her to feel. She's not buying any of these slick words that you might come with. She ain't buying none of that flexing and all of that. She ain't buying all of that. You have come into her life and had her experience a certain amount of excitement and pleasure and wonder and love. You just had an experience that she shared an experience, and then just like that, it was done and over. Not saying that she couldn't have done maybe some things to maybe keep the connection alive, but I feel like that's what she was doing. She was the one that was keeping the connection alive, and once she stopped the pursuing, there it just stopped, and that gave her a clear answer on how you felt, and so she is not quick to buy in to who to you coming back. Yeah. Again, she's laying a foundation that's going to feel secure for her. Okay. Yeah. Ego comes out for the divine feminine, and I think that's exactly what she's worried about. She's like, Now there's some ego on her side that she has to go ahead and acknowledge. Like, let's say this is a partner that did kind of breadcrumb and ghost her, and she kind of was like, well, I ain't dealing with him no more, talked all this mess or whatever, and then he comes back. She has to deal with, do I want to tell people I went back with him? You know, that's an ego talking. Like, do I care what other people think? And so she has some pride and some sacrifices that she has to deal with as well. But I feel like it's not really so much her ego that she's worried about as much as it is the masculine. I think that she still feels that he's going to be led by his ego, that he's not going to be very genuine. And so she's really going to need him to put all of that to the side. It says, I lost myself while trying to save my ego. I don't feel like that's the energy of the divine feminine. I don't feel like she lost herself while trying to save her ego, because her ego was already pretty much, for lack of better terms, I would guess say shattered in a sense, because you breadcrumbed and flatlined her. Like, I mean, there's not much more. If your ego's already been suffered a blow, you know, per se. So there's not, I don't feel like the feminine energy is worried about her ego. I think that she thinks that the masculine's ego is a problem. Yeah, she feels like it may be all about him. Like maybe he's coming back and he wants something from her that's only going to be satisfying and fulfilling for him. And so she's, excuse me, she's very, I feel like she's got a definite guard up, I think, when it comes to this masculine energy here. She's open and to love, but she's just not sure if she wants that love or to be open to you anymore. It's almost as if you've ruined it, your chances. And so the only way that she's going to be able to hear you is by feeling you. And I don't mean physical touch. I mean by the way that you express to her, by the way that you take a deep dive into your emotions and share them with her. That's how you're going to have to communicate. Revealing. This is a past energy coming in for the divine feminine. It says, I'm ready to express what's been on my mind. I'm seeing that in the past energy because I think in the past that she was not very clear on who she was and what she was sharing with the divine masculine. I think in a sense she might have been looking at things through rose-colored glasses, and so now that those have been removed, she is ready to express what she has on her mind and what she was experiencing at the time, how she felt when all of this happened, or how this all unfolded. So you were definitely, and she's very much more vocal and able to communicate, and so because of that, she's going to be very, I feel like she's going to be very raw in a sense about her emotions and how she feels. And she's going to state that very clearly, not with a super harsh, sharp tongue, but I do feel like you're going to get a little sass with that because she realizes no longer is it safe for her to keep all of this on the inside. She's going to have to express to get what she wants and desires. So she's willing to express now very clearly. No longer is she holding that in. In the top of her mind, I see the player card. She is not buying this from you. That's what she thinks. She doesn't believe that you're going to be ready. She doesn't believe that there's going to be a sacrifice in this relationship. This divine masculine and divine feminine are kind of on the, I'm feeling a little bit of rift there because this divine feminine has grown and she's at the point where she has found validation within herself, while this divine masculine is still struggling with, you know, what it is that he wants to do or how he's growing and maturing. She's there. And so he has a little bit of a challenge if he's, if he decides to reach back out or come into contact. If divine is working on this, it's going to happen anyway. It's going to happen anyway, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And either this, it's going to be a lesson either way, okay? It's going to be a learning experience either way. But the divine feminine is definitely not necessarily as honed in as she might have once been for this masculine. I'm seeing opening up, and these cards don't have reversals, but it did flip over in the reverse. And I'm seeing the opening up card that is coming out in the future or potential outcome energy. And I'm glad to see it there. While she might be reluctant to open up, it's not like she's reluctant to open up to love. She's just reluctant to open up to you, divine masculine. She's reluctant to open up to your energy again. It is going to be opened up, or her door is open, but she's really skeptical about how far she's going to let you come in. She might meet you somewhere instead of you coming up in her into that door. She's going to be very, very skeptical about allowing you in because of all the past experiences here. I feel like this is just old hurt, or yeah, like a little, just like a little old hurt, like, you know, like a lesson learned, like, I was blinded by the finesse. I was blinded by all these other things. I actually feel like the feminine might have been the thirsty one, you know, and I kind of fell in, and I denied myself, um, true expression of who I am and what I desire, and I'm no longer doing that. I'm reestablishing and rebuilding my life. And I'm not starting off with this kind of, if I feel like this, I'm not jumping into that. Okay? Deception and skepticism. What's clarifying that is the throw shade, being rude towards someone, insults, slick, and disrespectful. I told you was going to have to accept a little bit of sass when you step back into that. You can come up in here with all of that slicky boy stuff if you want to, but she ain't having that. Like I said, she's like, it's nice to know. It's like the masculine has become the chaser. It's like, it's nice to know that you now see me, or you now feel me. She's very reluctant. Okay, tell me about ego, please. Ego, swole. Swole says, hit the gym, muscular, looking good, great body, hard work, physical attraction. That is definitely the snake in the grass. Okay. I do feel like the masculine is going to come all slicked up and finessed and coming with all of that. I do feel like there's going to be a little bit of the flowers and candy and little tokens of love or fondness or what have you. I feel like there will be all these little things, and it's going to look good. He's going to look good. He's going to smell good. It's going to definitely trigger some type of nostalgic, feel good feeling in the feminine, but I still feel like she's going to resist. I feel like you're just going to look like everything that you look like before. She's going to see you in the same package as she saw you before. You're going to have to be able to communicate your feelings with her wholeheartedly, or she's going to only see you as that player. Revealing. Yeah. You're going to have to communicate very clearly and openly, and she's gonna know. She's a feeler. She's gonna feel it. She's gonna pay attention. She's not allowing herself to be used and put in that situation again. Tell me about revealing, please. What they're saying is not true. Becoming someone you're not. Lies, faking, and bullshit. You better be coming with no cap. Okay? For sure. Because she's not doing that. She's not doing that. She's going to call you out on the carpet about anything and everything so that there can be a fresh start a little bit. It's kind of like, you told me this, but it really turned out to be this. Why did you lie? You know, it might be questions like that that may seem very blunt, but it's because she wants to know the truth. She no longer wants to be fake. She doesn't want a fake love. She doesn't want a fake relationship. She doesn't want any of that. It's got to be all real. All real. That lies and the fakeness and all of that slick stuff. No. That does not move her anymore. It does not move her anymore. Tell me about this player energy. Stan. Liking someone or something a lot. Unhealthy character traits. Stalker, fan, or obsessed. Okay, Stands don't sound like people you want in your life, and especially a player. This is unhealthy character traits, and she knows that that's not the kind of character trait that she wants in someone. She wants someone who's a little more ready to it's like I still want to go to the game and participate and play. I just don't want to have so many players playing in the game. Or I don't want to necessarily play within the game, but I do like going to the game. Okay? Yeah. It's like I can enjoy the pleasures, but I don't need to. It's kind of like that masculine. You've tasted everything. And now I have a taste for something very particular. Yeah. She ain't going for no play or nothing. She ain't going for none of that. No stands, no unhealthy relationships, nothing. She's quite aware of what it is that she finds herself attracted to you about, and that's that swole energy. You probably really look physically appealing to her, and so she recognizes that she likes that, but she's able to look past that and go more inward to the emotional side, which is why it's going to be very important, again, masculine, for you to take that deep dive emotionally, because that's how you're going to have to speak to her. She does not see you any other way right now. She ain't feeling it. Tell me about this opening up, please. Receipts, needing answers, not believing what you're told, evidence, proof, and doubtful. I told you. You want to come and get in that door, you better come with receipts. You better come with it. You're going to have to walk the walk, talk the talk. You're going to have to be about it. You know, you're going to have to. You're going to have to. Because she's going to want answers. She's going to have to believe in what you say. She's going to need proof. You're going to have to remove that doubt from her, because she sees you as not being honest, and not being faithful, not being really true. She doesn't see you like she saw you before. She was blinded. Now she's got her sunglasses on. Wow. So, I don't really even have to say what I'm feeling like, because I think, what the conversation, I think you can already hear what the feminine is saying to the masculine. And it's like, look here you come with all of this. Now you want to be talking to me. Yeah, you look great and everything, but I don't know if I'm really trying to feel you. I mean, because you came through, you sold all this stuff, and we talked this talk, and then it was just like nothing. So really what I understood you to be was just a player. You came in and you had your fun, and you got what you wanted out of the deal, and maybe at some point I did too. But but there should have been something, another layer. Maybe it's like I maybe not expected to run off into the sunset or the rainbow with you, but there should have been a layer of like actual friendship there. And that's where because that was she doesn't even feel like you might have really been honestly friends. And so now she's very protective of her space and her heart when it comes to Slicky Boy. Okay. Well, we're almost. I'm going to use the Tarot of Sexual Magic to throw out a quick advice for or some type of energy that I think might be helpful for these two to communicate one another. So please give me a conversation. Please tell me what the masculine would like to say to the feminine to close. What can he say to respond? What does he want to say to his feminine? If He removes all frequencies, vibrations, thoughts, habits, and beliefs that they block him from stepping into his true emotional self. What would he say to his feminine? He doesn't know what to say. Well, let's take that card. Strength. Wow. It's the Strength card. Okay. Okay. He wants you to take charge. He wants to relinquish his strength. He wants to relinquish some of the power that he seems to exude, or that he puts up the front for. He might even have that type of power, but he wants to relinquish some of it. He really just wants to be, I don't want to say controlled, because that's not what it is, but he wants to be nurtured and held. He wants to, he wants you to know that your guidance is what he desires. He feels like he could go on even further with your support, that you give him the strength to push on, because of the love that you provide, and because you provide such a good love, that is, it gives him the strength. He draws his strength from the power of your love. So how well you love him, it fuels him, and he likes that, because it gives him a real sense of purpose, or a real loving comfort, to know that there's that you care like that, that you see him as this, like everyone, he may be this big personality, or this big creature, this big powerful person, or what have you. He may be very outgoing or radiant, but on the inside, he really just wants to be loved and led by you. He misses you. You are actually the one person that could actually tame him. Okay. Nice, Master. Anything else for the masculine you'd like to say? Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine, come through. Speak to the masculine, please. The King of Cups comes through. I feel very, I feel like this card is saying that, yes, excuse me. This Divine Feminine, she's gonna make me say something I don't want to say. She's stretching my mouth and my throat, right? Okay, what I feel like the Divine Feminine is coming through, or what I'm feeling from the Divine Feminine is like, yes, I do want a King of Cups. I do want a man who is emotionally mature, but he has got to see me as an equal. Okay? There has to be reciprocity. For as much as you are an alpha male, I am an alpha female. For as much as you want to be led, so do I. And so it's like she's saying that that she is in control of a lot of things in her life and a lot of people, in the way that she set herself up. Um, um, Sometimes she wants to step into an energy of just being um, pampered, worshipped, loved sincerely. That goes two ways. You know, she wants the same feeling. If you can look at these pictures, right? Okay, you see how the woman is controlling that big warthog or whatever, right? And then you see here in the other picture how the masculine kind of is just, got the feminine at his feet a little bit, you know. I feel like there's this balance of reciprocity. There's this give and take that she's saying is this, that, hey, yeah, I can lead you and I can provide you strength and comfort and guidance as well. But there's sometimes when I need you to really pour into me for that. So it's cool that you're getting all that you need, but make sure that you pour into me and you're not just sucking me dry. Make sure that you really, really understand my love and the kind of love I would like in return. Okay. I am feeling like that is it for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine read. I really enjoyed it. Let me know if this resonates with you. I am happy to have done it. And we'll talk again soon.